IMF warns of rising prices and slower global growth as Middle East conflict deepens energy market disruptions. Washington, April 1, 2026. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has warned that the ongoing conflict in the Middle East is increasing pressure on the global economy, as disruptions linked to the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz continue to affect energy supplies, trade flows, and financial stability. In an analysis published on March 30th, senior IMF economists described the crisis as a global yet asymmetric shock, indicating that although the conflict is centered in the Middle East, its economic consequences are being felt across multiple regions in different ways. The IMF said the disruption has contributed to higher prices for oil, natural gas, and fertilizers, while also creating additional pressure on supply chains and financial markets. According to the fund, the Strait of Hormuz normally carries around 25 to 30% of global oil shipments and approximately 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas (LNG) trade. As tensions have disrupted this major shipping corridor and affected surrounding infrastructure, energy prices have risen sharply and market volatility has intensified. The IMF stated that, across several possible conflict scenarios, the overall direction remains the same: higher inflationary pressure and weaker global growth. While the effects are expected to vary by country and region, the institution said the broader outcome points to increased costs for businesses, reduced consumer purchasing power, and slower economic momentum. Large energy importing economies in Asia and Europe are expected to face some of the strongest pressure, particularly through rising import costs, more expensive industrial inputs, and higher production expenses. At the same time, lower-income countries in Africa and parts of Asia are facing growing difficulties in obtaining sufficient fuel and related commodities, even at elevated prices. The fund also noted that higher fertilizer prices are contributing to increased food costs, placing added strain on households and agricultural sectors. Before the latest escalation, the IMF's Regional Economic Outlook for Asia and the Pacific, released in October 2025, had projected the region to remain a major contributor to global growth, with expansion forecast at approximately 4.5% in 2025 and 4.1% in 2026. However, the institution now says that recent developments have introduced significant downside risks, especially for major energy importing economies such as China, India, Japan, South Korea, and several countries in Southeast Asia. The IMF noted that Asia's heavy dependence on imported oil and gas leaves the region particularly exposed to prolonged supply disruptions. In response, policymakers may need to consider a range of measures, including the use of strategic reserves, targeted support policies, and longer-term efforts to diversify energy sources and strengthen economic resilience. The fund added that it is closely monitoring the evolving situation and stands ready to provide policy advice, capacity development, and financial assistance, where appropriate, to member countries facing external financing pressures or balance of payments difficulties. A broader updated assessment of the global economy is expected to be released in the IMF's World Economic Outlook on April 14, 2026, during the IMF and World Bank spring meetings in Washington. The Global Financial Stability Report is scheduled for release on the same day, followed by the Fiscal Monitor on April 15. The IMF emphasized that the full economic impact will depend on the duration and scale of the conflict, as well as the degree of damage to infrastructure and trade routes. For the time being, the institution has urged governments to maintain flexibility and prepare policy responses suited to the different economic pressures facing each country. Thank you for following Lion Dara Group Management Team, your trusted source for accurate and timely international financial news from all countries in the Southeast Asia and Pacific region. We are committed to providing accurate, verified, and reliable information with clear sources, bringing you the latest international financial news from around the world.